Verse 3. And everyone who has this hope confidently placed in him purifies himself, just as he is pure, holy, undefiled, and guiltless. Okay, we've got to make sure we put that with verse 2 when he talked about our new being that we don't understand. Because right now, everyone who has this hope, what hope? That at some point in some time we're going to be a perfect being in heaven. Confidently placed in him, purifies himself. We're trying to do that now the best we can, and we flaw. I fail. So we're flawed at it. At one point, it's going to be, once we've had that hay, wood, and stubble burned off, wherever that process happens after that, we're a pure being. Just as he is pure. That's holy, undefiled, and guiltless. It's fascinating to me. I holy and undefiled, yeah. But the guiltless parts, I guess because of the flesh in me, is hard to comprehend. I will no longer have anything that I thought wrong, acted wrong, wasted our time wrong. And that was a big one last week. We're going to be accountable for our time, our motives. And it's like, I'll no longer be guilty of taking 1 degree in the wrong direction, and if I stay on it long enough, I'm way out there and way off track. It's like I will stay perfectly on track of what he wants me to do from that point on. Because it's my nature. It isn't second nature to us anymore. Verse 4. Everyone who practices sin also practices lawlessness. And sin is lawlessness, which Amplified says ignoring God's law by action or neglect or tolerating wrongdoing, being unrestrained by his command and his will. Everyone who practices sin also practices lawlessness. Well, there's just a slight hint of why he gave us the law, right? He gave us the law to show us what sin looks like. And Jesus said, I came to fulfill the law. I'm the only one that will be sinless. So he came to perfectly fulfill that. And he's talking about sin and lawlessness as ignoring God's law by our actions. I think we do that less and less as believers. But I think there's times where the Holy Spirit taps us on the shoulder and go, well, you ignored that. I'm like, never thought about it, but I did. Forgive me. And the Amplified says, or neglect. That goes back down to renewing our mind daily. Well, I neglected to understand what my purpose as a believer is in the bigger picture of things, so I neglected it. This one, Amplified puts in there is tolerating wrongdoing. There's a lot of fine lines in that one, isn't there? I don't want to offend anybody, so it's your life. Live it the way you want. I am tolerant. What you do in your time is your place. Where's the fine line? And the fine line is the Holy Spirit. Talk to them about this. Don't say anything. Let them come to you in this. Just keep showing the example of what pure love is in this. You live your life to the best of your ability as following Christ, and let your walk witness Him. I was coming here praying, and this is what came to mind today. And it's for everyone. It is an individual thing, but it's also a corporate thing because we're the family of God. And this is what God told me. You are responsible for your family. To the degree that you follow me is to the degree that I will impact your family. Mm-hmm. That's pretty deep. To the degree that you follow God and get close to Him and allow Him to change and transform you will be to the degree that He will impact into your family. That's your flesh family. That's your church family, because we all are children of God. We all are the family of God. That's pretty powerful. To the degree that I get close to God will be the degree that he will impact my family. That's pretty powerful. Because the closer I get to God, the more obedient I will be, the more I will hear the do's and don'ts, the more I will hear to say this. You know, I use the crazy analogy because if you look at the Old Testament, it was a lot of a crazy analogy. And I think last week I was telling James, I don't remember the word, but something like, say, it was jelly bean. You know, say, out of the blue, you're having an argument with someone. You know what, time out. I just need to feel like I need to say jelly bean to you. And they break down and cry and says, if someone says jelly bean to me out of a clear blue sky, I'm going to know that there's a God. And I'll start following that God. But we get in the habit of, that had to have been the pizza, or maybe you were thinking about, what am I going to do for Easter baskets next year, even though it's many, many months away. And you're like, oh, I wonder if jelly beans go on sale. I can get that forever. They're just little sugar pellets with some food coloring in it. So, you know, and a little bit of flavor. You know, I wonder if I can find me some jelly beans on sale now. And then that's the word God uses for you to touch that person's life. And the Holy Spirit does. I mean, and then we talked about it. If you know, I love them. Out of all the ones that I could have picked was the ark, and you said it, and I never even brought it up. You know, it's like, you know, God tells you, hey, I want you to go to build an ark in your backyard. We would have a better understanding that we may need it. Because it does flood. You know, it rains on us. We have floods. We've seen floods. We've seen damage of floods. We've seen all the natural disaster stuff. So we have a comprehension. You know, it's a possibility. It wouldn't be as crazy to us.
Yeah.
But to Noah, in the middle of a desert, I'm not sure how far away that there was a natural body of water. It was quite a ways. It has never rained to that point.
Right.
So the closest he has to any kind of water experience was maybe they went to the beach for the weekend, or the river and caught some fish somewhere. Or there was a pond, a little puddle that they feed their animals or water their animals out, or it has a few fish in it. Or they got up early enough in the morning and there was a little bit of dew on the grass or something like that. And I'm not even sure that was there then.
Well, so mist came up from the earth.
That's
just mist. That doesn't sound very threatening.
Yeah. So that was the closest they understood. So when Noah starts telling his family, we're going to build this great big ark, and it's going to be really long and really tall, and we're going to bring and they're like, okay, Dad, you're building a boat. That's crazy. How are we going to get the boat to the river or the lake or the ocean? If you know, but then he blows their mind and says, and we're going to collect 2 of all the animals, and they're going to live on the ark with us, and we're going to be on there until God opens us back up after this big flood. What's a flood? I mean, you think of all the things that they were tripping out about. Building a boat, we've seen a boat maybe, you know, and, you know, a boat's supposed to float. Yeah, okay, whatever, Dad, you're getting a boat. Yeah, we'll drag it back and forth to the lake. You know, build a little dinghy, and we'll drag it back and forth to the lake. Then we go, we're going to put all the animals on it with us. Now you done blew my mind. You know, they're probably more worried about all the animals than they were building this boat. And then he starts building a boat for 120 years, telling everybody you're going to drown if you don't get on this boat. His own family didn't quite believe what he was saying, but they went along with him. So he never really had any true converts. Can you imagine your assignment from God is to preach the gospel for 120 years and never have one convert? Never have one person that showed a glimpse of interest into what you have to say, that they mocked you and scolded you. I mean, Noah could have made more money selling tickets to watch him build the boat as the people were mocking him and ridiculing him than he did actually get passengers on the